Hello and welcome to Mediumship Matters with me, Hannah McIntyre. What follows is a reading I did for Nikki, completely unedited, and it's an interesting one indeed because Nikki asked to hear from her grandmother who she didn't meet in life, and her dad stepped forward where she had a very difficult, challenging relationship with him, which is a really interesting thing to navigate as a working medium. Their relationship has changed since he moved into the spirit world and improved vastly, but it is and was an interesting thing trying to work through that kind of reality of the situation now versus how it was and how I was receiving him and how he was presenting in, of course, his wisdom. So listen up, see what you think, and let me know your feedback. Thank you very much.
Hi, Nikki. Thank you very much for agreeing to be part of the podcast. So I know that you've seen me work before and you've come on retreats with me and stuff like that. So you understand mediumship. So all I need from you is sort of yes, no's, maybes, not sure about that, Hannah. Hannah, you've made that up. What the hell are you talking about, you lunatic? And anything else. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. So I've got to acknowledge here, Nikki, a man in the spirit world who has been with me actually for 2 days.
Oh, no.
Have you got dad in spirit?
Yes, I have.
Yes, okay, because it feels like dad to me. And he has been, and because I don't do many readings now, I knew he was for you.
Right.
And he has been waiting. So let me just build some power with him because I've been pushing him away not to cheat for 2 days. And let me just build some stuff in with it. Right. Definitely feels like dad to me. And I need to acknowledge here a really close bond with dad. I feel like you and dad get on very well. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Yes. And there's a lot of love there that he's bringing in straight away. And I have to acknowledge that so the energy will move. There's a real feeling here of wanting you to know that he loves you.
Okay.
Now, dad makes me feel, dad's passing quite sudden, Nikki. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Because he's making me feel that it's, right, I know he goes too soon. I feel like he passes young. He could have had a lot more time here and he wanted and expected to have a lot more time here. And I also want to acknowledge the suddenness and unexpectedness of his passing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And do you understand why your dad is drawing my attention to my chest? Is there something to do with his chest and his passing?
I think it was to do with his liver.
Liver, okay. Let me just follow this for a minute then, because I'm really getting a lot of energy. It's like difficulty breathing or something like that I'm tuning in with, but let me just build some more power with him before we go down rabbit holes. Okay. Dad, he's a bit of a character, isn't he, your dad?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a big personality, which he's now letting me see. I can feel that he's got a big sense of humour. He likes to make jokes and things like that. You understand that? And he can be quite straight talking, tells it like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And very, very practical man. Do you understand this? Good at fixing, making, building, doing.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that definitely a yeah?
Can we stop record?
Yeah, of course, hon.
Okay.
Okay, we're back recording again. And this is really interesting because why Nikki wanted to stop here is because her dad and her relationship has improved since he's been in spirit, but wasn't necessarily so good while he was in the spirit world. So she wanted to just check that everything was okay. So we're back now and hitting record because because you understand why he is showing me this closeness to you now and this love with you, even if it wasn't always there. Now, your dad, I need to talk here about, I feel that he would have done lots of different jobs or lots of bitty jobs. Do you understand this with him, Nikki? Because I don't feel like I want to follow a career path. And this is where he's given me that practical stuff, is that he would have done a bit for them and then a bit for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Sort of.
Okay. Yeah. Don't say yes if it's a no, because I won't be able to get it right for you. But he just feels to me like I don't feel like he has it feels like it's sporadic to me, his work. So he's not doing, I can't say he was the this or he was the that. He's just kind of bumbles along. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know that when we went off record, you were talking to me about his problems with drink, which I need to acknowledge here because they're coming in. And I also want to talk here about mental health issues with him. I feel that he is, he's not the happiest of souls when he is here in the physical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And even, dare I say here, there's almost a sense of paranoia or not trusting other people that I want to acknowledge as well, that he pulls himself away. He's pulling himself away. And it's not for want of people, because there's people around him who love him, who would have helped him, but he feels like he's pulling himself away and closing himself off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Right. Now he's taking me, when he passes, Nick, do you understand him? I feel like he's left a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted out behind. So do you understand here? I mean, like a lot of mess is what I want to talk about. Did his home need a lot of clearing out?
I should imagine so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like it's not like a hoarder's house, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have a lot of value, but is just left because he thinks he's got more time. He thinks he'll get around to it. He's got that kind of mentality. And I can see that there because he's wanting to acknowledge the unexpectedness of his passing.
Yeah.
And am I correct in saying, Nikki, that when he passes alone?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay.
Imagines. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel that he's making me aware that, yeah, it feels like there's something wrong. He's aware that there's something wrong. He's ignoring that there's something wrong. He's continuing and pretending that something isn't happening. He's almost feverish is the way that I'm feeling here. Like there's hot sweats. There's not feeling like things are working quite the way that they should. And then there is the, sorry, my dogs are, so you worried about your dogs. Can you hear my dogs barking? Honestly. And then I feel like he slips into unconsciousness, and that is when he passes. And he's wanting to acknowledge that because he's wanting to acknowledge that it's not bad for him. He's wanting to acknowledge that it's not, he's aware that there's something going on, but it's not absolutely terrible. He's not in excruciating pain. He does just slip to the other side. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Now, he's also making me feel here that I need to talk about him being a good-looking man. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is quite important to him. And in times before he gets very shut away and rejecting of the outside world, he's quite popular with the ladies, sometimes to his detriment, I think. He's wanting to make me feel here that there is regrets with choices that he made when he was younger. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. With regards to your mum.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Okay. Because he's making me aware of that. And again, this is not excuses, because spirit always take ownership of the choices that they made. But it does feel like through his life, he's got this sort of line of mental health issues, not feeling like he is confident in himself, and he just can't make good choices. That's the way he's making me feel. So he's wanting to acknowledge that, because I feel that your mum really tried to help him and love him and be there for him. And there's a feeling of her finally getting pushed to enough is enough. Yeah. So he's acknowledging all of that with fullness. Honestly, mine will set yours off in a minute. They're obviously playing, and that's just how they're going to be. So another professional podcast. Let me just see what else they want to show me. Right. Now, your dad's mum is also in spirit. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Because I need to acknowledge she's quite a force. Do you understand this with her? She's quite a forthright lady. She'll say it how it is. She can be quite direct. Do you understand this with your grandmother?
I never actually met her.
Okay. Would you know it of her?
I don't really know a lot about.
Okay. Just because he's really making me aware that she is there, and she is almost like taking him by his ear. And what did you do with these opportunities you were given? What did you do with your life? This is not who I brought you up to be. And there's a real feeling of almost moving into spirit and getting clipped around the ear. Now, we know that isn't how it works. But there is that kind of, he's making me aware that they're together, but she wanted better for him than this.
Yeah.
And his decisions that he made, because I do feel again and again, I need to acknowledge here with him, opportunities to change the outcome, opportunities to change the way his life, and him sort of very decisively taking the path that he decided to take in spite of people trying to help him, because many people did. Many people tried to crack open that armor that's around him, but he just... Right. Now, I know you mentioned some stuff in the break, but I'm completely going off with spirit now. So apologies if I'm repeating this, but I want to talk here about a long gap here. So I feel that he's around when you're very little and then disappears. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. And he misses everything so much.
Yeah.
And he is wanting to apologize for that, because he's making me feel that he's aware in spirit that there was a time where you kind of carried that a bit, as if, you know, why doesn't he want to know me? Why doesn't he want to see me? What's wrong with me? And he's wanting you to know that that's fully on him. It's fully on him. He is, he's making me quite emotional with it, actually. He's, there is so much regret there for missed opportunities and missed chances. And he sees it from the spirit world, and he realizes what a gift you were, and that he just didn't allow himself that love, because you'd have loved him. You'd have loved to have had him in. You'd have loved to have spent time with him. And again, he's a very stubborn man. I can feel his determination to just be in his misery. That's how it feels to me. It doesn't feel like he's in a happy place. It feels like he's miserable.
Yeah.
But from his own choosing, from people. So he's making me feel that there's everything that he misses again and again and again. And he's wanting to let you know that it was never you. It was always him. Always. He's really wanting to take ownership of everything here today as well, because I also feel that he wants to acknowledge that financially he was not a support in your life either.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he actually owed me 40 quid once. He's never given me anything.
There you go. So he's also he leaves you with nothing. He brought nothing. But it doesn't mean he doesn't have that bond to you from spirit, which I know you've mentioned to me that you are aware of. It's just he got too caught in his human experience. And I really do have to acknowledge here your mum and the apology that he wishes to pass to her, which she would not have received in life because he was not that kind of person. But actually how hard she had to work to hold it all together, to keep you safe and fed and watered, and deal with the fact that he just exited stage left. Okay. Nikki, is there anything you want me to ask him?
I don't know. Is he around me at home? Because I feel like he is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In so many ways. He is, it almost feels, now I know spirit are omnipresent and I know that they have unlimited energy, but it almost feels like he's making the most of his opportunity to build a relationship with you from spirit. And I see him with you quite a lot. Now, you talk to him, he's telling me. You acknowledge him. You say, hey, Dad, how you doing? And it feels like there's, God, it's giving me this lovely feeling that he gets acknowledged in such a easy way from you. You know, you have welcomed him into your life from spirit, and he's really, really grateful for that. He's taking me back to his natural state of being, which I know I mentioned at the beginning, which is where he's got this kind of funny playfulness to him, which I know life hides. But I also know is there because I need to talk about him really enjoying playing with you a bit, being a bit silly, moving things. There feels like there's physical phenomena around you that let you know that he's around, and you go, oh, Dad, give me back my car keys. Where have they gone? And that kind of thing, because he's got that kind of, he's letting you know that he's there, but he's letting his personality shine through in his sort of mischievousness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's also showing me, have you got a photo of him?
I have.
Good. This out in your house?
No, I'm going to put it out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. He's just acknowledging that there, that he's, I mean, it makes him very emotional, and he doesn't sit well in emotion. He tries to hide from it, but that you're bringing him in that way. He's so grateful for that you are allowing him to be part of your life. He also wants to acknowledge here that you asked for his help. This feels quite recent. I want to say in the last year, you've asked for his help and his support, and he's wanting to acknowledge that he brought that he does bring that energy. But he's also wanting you to recognize that you are way stronger than you give yourself credit for. And you're almost there sort of going, I don't know if I can do this. How am I going to do this whilst you're doing it? And he's there going, you're going, Dad, please help me. And he's there going, but you're already doing it. You've got this. So he's wanting you to believe in yourself and keep pushing forward, because he doesn't want his insecurities and worries to become yours. They are not yours, they are his. Okay. So who would you like me to try and get hold of? If I know I went straight with your dad there because he'd waited with me for 2 days. So I was like, hi, Nikki's dad. I can feel you. Is there someone else you would like me to try and get hold of for you, Nikki?
Yeah, my nan, my mum's mum.
Your mum's mum. Okay. Let me just pick her out of the crowd that you have in spirit that surround you. Let me
told you, yeah.
Let me find the right one for you. Okay. Here she is. Okay, so I want to talk about her living to a ripe old age. I do feel like she is elderly when she moves into spirit. No. Okay, I've got somebody else. Bear with me then. I'm going to work with this one and then I'll try and find out. I've got a lady stepping forward who's definitely elderly when she moves into the spirit world. She lives to a ripe old age. She's got real nan feeling. So let me just work with her a bit. She's lives alone towards the end of her life. She is quite a determined, strong-willed lady. She's shown me being around you in your childhood when you're younger.
This could be my stepdad's mum.
Okay. Yeah, she's shown me being around you. She feels like a nan, if that makes sense. That's the kind of energy that she brings. Wheezy lady. Do you understand breathing? Yeah. Okay, good. very, she's old-fashioned, but in a lovely way. That's the best way I can phrase it. Her home is very much, she's got all her bits and bobs out and figurines and photos, and it feels like I'm going back in time a bit, but it's got real coziness to it. She's got a real determination. She doesn't want anyone else taking care of her. She'll put the kettle on, thank you very much. She's got that kind of energy. Don't make a fuss over me. You have to sort of go over to be looked after by her. But there is a real lovely bond between the two of you, I want to acknowledge here. I feel like you are close with her. Yeah,
I did love her. Yeah.
Good. Because she was taking her opportunity to come in. Do you understand the name or the month of June being related to her?
I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, have a think, because I could just see the word written and I can't tell what the context is. Let me get something else from her. Right. She's telling me, I do believe it's cancer that she passes from, but I feel that she's old. So it's kind of, she's almost like, I died of old age. I had to die of something. Do you understand this with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's making me feel that. And I do feel that she's in hospital when she passes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it feels like as passings go, it feels quite easy. She's ready to go. She's made her peace with the fact that she's going. She's getting more and more tired. She's awake. She's going. She's awake. She's going. Everyone gets to come and see her and say goodbye. She knows that she is loved, and it just feels very cozy to me as she moves into spirit. Have you got a necklace of hers?
No.
Okay. You haven't got anything of hers that you wear on a chain?
No.
It's not changing. Feels like something jewellery of hers has been passed on. Has it been passed on? Okay.
It would have gone to my stepdad.
Your stepdad.
Yeah.
Do you know, when I'm completely off track, they'll go, what the hell was that? And I'll say, I don't know, I made it up. But in this scenario, it keeps just being repeated. It's like something that belonged to her that's hanging on a chain, and I keep seeing it again and again. So I can't change it, but there's something she's wanting to acknowledge there. Let me just see what else she wants to show me. She's a very determined lady. So when it's not how she wants it to be, I like the fact that she's just pushed in. When you said who you wanted to hear from, and she was like, no, it's me. And here she goes. She's got that kind of personality. Very strong-minded. Okay. And she has grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, because I know that she wants to acknowledge that, the family continuing and her getting to see this and being a part of it. Right. I think she's let me move it to where we want to go. So we'll see how it works. Let me just. Right. Let's see if I've got hold of her now. Now, obviously, I know from the information I gave you that she is younger when she passes, late middle-aged. Do you understand that? And I want to talk about her fighting to stay. So I feel that she has got an illness and she tries to stay. Do you understand this? She has treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this cancer with her?
No.
No. But you would understand something prolonged that requires treatment and her trying to stay.
See, this is the thing, because I never actually met her either.
Okay.
Because she died before I was born.
Okay.
But she had MS,
Right.
and then she actually died of I think it was a blood clot on the brain.
Bless her. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's making me feel like she has, which would make sense with MS, prolonged medical treatment. I feel like she's in and out, and it's of hospital and treatment and doctors and trying to maintain a quality of life. Sorry that I misread that of cancer, but I can just feel that energy in there. It's almost like it's growing through her body. That's how it's feeling to me. Now, let me just see what I can get from her. Now, she's making me feel that she's very nicely dressed lady. The way that she looks is important to her. She's got standards. So even though she's got MS, I do know that she is very house proud, very likes to keep things nice, and she pushes herself very hard in that. And there feels like I need to acknowledge here a frustration when she's unable to do the things that she likes to do, which she doesn't have big aspirations here of doing incredibly crazy things. What she wants is to have a nice house, have everything neat and tidy. I feel like she likes things just so, and likes to look nice. And she's making me feel that there are photos of her when she is younger where she is very well put together and very lovely clothes, looks really nice, hair done, very attractive lady. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you'd know this, Nikki, but when she has her blood clot, do you know if I don't feel like she goes straight away. Do you know if she goes into hospital with it for a couple of days and then goes?
I'm not sure.
Okay. It's just, I keep getting a feeling like having a stroke almost, like it's that kind of losing motor functions and not wanting to, not able to move or control the body in the same way. Let me see what else she can give me. Now, you just told me this and I've already forgotten, because this is what it's like when I'm working with spirit. But she did get to meet you, yes? You were a
No,
baby.
she died before I was born.
Okay. Was your mum expecting you?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I just feel like, again, I've got determined nan energy. It's quite interesting. It feels like you're on the physical plane in some way. So that would be interesting to know, because it feels like she's aware of you and not just high-fiving you on the other side as you come here, but she's aware of you coming. So, right. So your mum got her wedding dress?
Oh, I don't. I should imagine my auntie Molly would have that.
Okay, I just feel like it's still here. She's acknowledging that that's kept in storage for her. And there's also an acknowledgement of tablecloth or linens. I keep getting this at the moment. It's obviously where my energy's at, that were hers, that are still in the family. Do you understand that?
I should imagine, yeah.
Okay. Now, she's taken me back to the house proud thing, which makes me think there's more to it. Was she a cleaner? Did she clean for people or something like that? Or is she just a very, very house proud lady?
I think she was a housekeeper.
Okay.
One of her jobs, yeah.
Okay, good. Because she was just taking me back to it again. And I thought there's something I've missed here, because it feels like, again, she very determined and very, it's a physical job. So again, there's this frustration with her body letting her down, where her mind is actually pretty clear and it's her body that won't let her do the things that she wants to do. And she's wanting to acknowledge that. She's also shown me a locket. Has there been a locket in the family that was hers?
Yeah, probably one of my aunties has got that.
Okay. I could just see that there, that she's showing me that's been kept. Okay. Nikki, have you got anything you want to ask her? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. she's showing me, is your mum kept, I think there's birthday cards or cards written with her handwriting in. Do you know if your mum's got?
You might have.
Okay, you have to ask her, because I can just see that. Like, I feel like they've been, like, her handwriting has been kept. It feels like it's in a keepsake environment of just, my mum wrote that, I'm going to keep that. So she's acknowledging that. Let me see what else she can show me. She's got links to Ireland.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Okay, she was just showing me going back on, she was a family tree in history, and she was taking me back on it, and then I suddenly got an Irish vibe, so that's interesting too. Yeah, like 2 above her in the family tree. Have a look. Let's see if you can work out homework. You're welcome. Always setting people homework. Let me see what she wants to say. Now, I do feel that she was married, and I can see him there, but I need to talk about him being away a lot. Do you understand him being in the forces or working away? I don't feel like he's in the home a lot. I feel like she's almost, certainly your mum's childhood, doing it on her own.
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask about that.
Okay. She's just given me that feeling like she's wanting to, again, show how capable she is, that, you know, she could do all of these wonderful things when she was able-bodied, and there's this determination she's wanting to acknowledge. And I feel like a gap here. Let me feel into it a bit more and see what else I can get. It's definitely a gap. If it's not him not being around, is there a big gap between him passing and her passing?
Not a massive gap.
There's just something she's trying to make me feel like I can feel the space in the energy of it, and I'm trying to just work out what it is. Space in their relationship, that's how I can see it. Like, they're married, but there's also this feeling of separation here. Okay. Here's another thing. She's wanting to acknowledge someone has bought her flowers recently. So it would have been somebody here in the physical bought flowers in memory of her that she has seen from the spirit world. And I do feel like that's quite recently. So I don't know if you know that, or you're going to need to research that, but I can see that there too. It feels like it's in honor of her, in memory of her.
My mum took some flowers to the grave on her birthday not long ago.
Okay, good. She wants to acknowledge she got them, she saw them. So again, that really lovely feeling here of being remembered and acknowledged. Okay. There's a real feeling of love coming in from her for you that she wants you to know. And would you understand your mum wanting a bit of support at this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that she's wanting you to know that she's there for it, for your mum, for what she's going through. And I feel like that's really important. She keeps showing me, like, taking her hand and stroking the side of her face when she's sleeping. So if your mum's been feeling that, she's not dreaming, it is her mum coming in and looking after her, and wanting you to know that she is aware and part of it. And I don't want to go into your mum's personal business on a public podcast, so I'm not going to, but just suffice to say, she knows, she's there, she's overseeing, she's bringing the love. Don't worry, she's part of it. She wants you to know that. Okay, really weird question, Nikki, but have you lit a candle recently that's been blown out by spirit?
Yeah,
That was her.
really.
Yeah, she's just honestly, it was so funny. It was like she just leaned in and went,
Yeah.
and yeah, she blew it out.
And it keeps happening with my incense sticks as well.
Ah, she's the devil. They've all got their little calling cards. I love it.
Yeah.
So that is her. She's letting you know that she's that one. She just showed me a candle being blown out straight away. So that is her. She's around. She's part of everything. She's part of your life. She wants you to know that. And she's also wanting to acknowledge okay, a baby in spirit. Would you understand a baby in spirit that she would want to be acknowledging for you or
Yeah.
around you? Yeah. She wants you to know all safe, all got, all good. And I know my dog is barking, so that could be interfering with but also I want to talk about fur babies.
Yeah.
And it's like she's replying to you. So if you've sort of said, Spirit, can you let me know that you've got, and this feels, I know, obviously I know you, so I know there's dogs and I know there's horses, but I feel you've got both in spirit.
I've got, yeah.
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 Multiple dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all there. They're all around. And that is a big acknowledgement there. And I'm not an animal communicator. It's not my forte, but I do feel like I'm getting vicariously through your nan a message from a dog that you had to choose to get put to sleep.
Yeah.
It's the right choice. And I know it was heartbreaking, but they want you to know that it was the right thing for them. Because they are running free and they are with you still, running around your house, getting under your feet, bashing into stuff. You feel them. That's them. They're there. Really speedy, one of them. I could just see really, really crazy, like running in circles. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Really wanting you to know that they are all there. They're all there.
Yeah.
They've got everyone. And your grandmother just leans in and just puts a little kiss on the side of your head right there. And she's a very affectionate, lovely lady, and she's just letting you know she's around.
Oh, bless her.
There we go. I hope that was okay.
Yeah, thank
Got
you.
lots of homework to research. You're welcome.
So there we go. An interesting experience, certainly. And Nikki has been in touch since this reading to give me a little bit of feedback. So she has found out that her granddad did serve in the Royal Air Forces, so that explains the gaps. And everything about her dad was spot on as much as she has known about him. And then she, bless her heart, she's been really good with trying to research into everything I got and work out what makes sense. Her mum and her two aunts have said no to the wedding dress, so I don't know what I was thinking of there, but her mum did put flowers on her grave for Mother's Day. And let me just read you aloud her last little bit of feedback. Hi Hannah, just want to say thanks again for taking the time to do a reading for me. A lot of the evidence was spot on. I also want to apologise for choosing my dad who left when I was a child and my nan who sadly passed away before I was born, which made it harder for me to answer decisively. Nikki, I think your dad had chosen for us actually, so don't worry about it at all. And this is really good. I want people to hear readings as they really are. And sometimes they're not as easy, and sometimes sitters can't give you decisive yes and no's, and sometimes, like the wedding dress, I get things that can't be proven or are in fact wrong. That's how it goes. Thank you for bringing the love and connection, and finally for me to know my dogs are running free and are around me makes me so happy. Thank you, Nikki, very much for taking part. I know it was a difficult situation for you to navigate as well. So I'm really, really grateful that you took the time to be a part of it. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, and I will catch up with you all again soon.